Greetings, scholars. It is I, David Your Mind Mechanic. So, something I was pondering, I think it's very psychology, but something I was pondering was where do myths come from, and how do they even persist? So there's a lot of different myths out there, right? And I'm not saying I have the answer, but where do they come from? This is just kind of just think about it. So what are some myths? Let's see. Myth. I know one, that if you are dreaming and you die in your dream, that you die in real life. How did that even happen? Who comes up with this stuff? I mean, it's not true, but it's actually an old myth that has persisted, and people just really seem to believe it. One that I heard from from some older people was that a cat will suck the breath out of your baby. And I'm smiling because it's not cheerful, but it's silly, and that's why I'm smiling. Like, I could see a cat sitting on your baby and maybe smothering it, but I don't know about a cat sucking the breath out of your baby like they're some demon. They're gonna suck their soul. I don't know. I don't think that's real. I know it's not real. What else? Maybe this wasn't a great video, but we're gonna throw it up there anyway. Mine's less about like the actual myths, unless you want to explore them. So post in the comments what kind of myths do you want to what do you want to explore, because I'm game. I'll look them up. I'm just curious, like, how does, in the face of logic and reason, how does a myth start, and how does it persist? Now, part of this I can answer, I think, without too much difficulty, which is, how does it start? And I don't think this necessarily applies to all myths. Let's take the the cat sucking the breath out of a baby. I remember one old cat in particular that we used to have. I could totally, like we got rid of her before we had a baby, but I could totally see that cat sitting on a baby's face or something and smothering it. I could also see a cat that was sitting next to a baby and perhaps, maybe the baby had SIDS, or maybe the baby, had health issues. And I don't know when that cat thing started, but, I could see something, people falsely attributing one thing to another. So I could see something where a cat was sitting next to the baby, they find the baby dead, and there you go. Well, their baby died because of this. I'm gonna get away from baby monks from being depressed. But the dying when you're in a dream and then dying in real life thing, that one's a little interesting because, why is it interesting? I think it's interesting because the dead don't get to tell us what happens. So if someone did die in their dream, thus dying in real life, according to the myth, how would we know that they died in their dream, which led to their actual, in real life, death? I think that's a little hard to pin down. So that one's kind of interesting. I've got kind of a question mark there. I don't know how that, would get started, and much less how it would persist. I wonder if people just think that it, in their mind, in their intuition, that it makes sense. Well, of course that makes sense. If you die in your dream, that you're going to die in real life. Of course that makes sense. Dreams are weird. I've died so many times in my dreams, I've lost count. And I'm still here, unless this is a dream. Anyway, those are things that I'm curious about, that I was just pondering while I'm on the way to work. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want me to explore a little bit like Mythbusters, but more of a myth that is we can't prove one way or another. So the Mythbusters would, will jumping into a refrigerator and shutting the door save you from a bomb exploding? Well, we could test that one. We cannot, however, test the soul-sucking cat. We cannot test dying in your sleep means you die in real life. We can't test these things. I'm more interested in the genesis and the persistence of these myths versus are they real, because we know they're not. So if you got a myth you'd like me to explore, let me know. And don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, hi.